Hi guys, in this video I am going to hopefully give you a tip when it comes to understanding which posture exercises work for you and which posture exercises don't work for you, and the plan of action that you need to take when you are confronted with posture exercises that work for you versus posture exercises that don't work for you. And I've got a new analogy that I like because I think analogies help people make sense of things a lot better. Some of these concepts can seem a little arbitrary, a little random, and I like to think that I have ways of explaining things to kind of make it make more sense. So hopefully that is what I'm going to do for you. And sorry, I was intending on filming this with my microphone, but it's run out of battery and it's charging and I need it for something else in a bit. So I thought I'll film this without the microphone, still going to be the same information. So here we go. So the very basic principle is you will know if a posture exercise suits you or doesn't suit you because it will either relieve symptoms of pain or it will aggravate symptoms of pain. So a posture exercise that is good for you is going to generally feel good. Intuitively, your levels of tension, your levels of pain are going to start reducing, and the amount that it starts reducing does depend on a few things. But if the pain is reducing somewhat, if your normal symptoms of pain and tension are reducing somewhat, it is a sign that it's a good exercise for you. Within that, there are going to be certain exercises that are more impactful and more effective. So you might try an exercise that reduces your symptoms of pain and tension by sort of 10%, 20%, which is good. And it's definitely an exercise to kind of keep in mind for the future. But you may also find an exercise that reduces your pain by 90%, 100%. And obviously that's a really good exercise to keep a note of, because that is a sign that you are doing something extremely good for your body. At the same time, exercises that are good for you, they are going to reduce your normal symptoms of pain and tension, wherever that is for you personally, because it could be shoulder, could be neck, could be hip, could be knee. As I'm making this video, I don't know which part or parts of you hurt. Your normal symptoms of pain and tension are going to go down if the exercise suits you, but what you will probably notice is that something else in your body starts like screaming at you. So when we create postural change for ourselves, which is what we're aiming to do with all of my work, we are looking to wake up muscles that don't often wake up, dysfunctional muscles, we are looking to switch them on and make them functional. And the more that you switch on dysfunctional muscles that have been asleep for a long time, you basically start rearranging the positions of your bones and your joints, because your bones and your joints follow whatever it is that your muscles are telling them to do. Your bones aren't in a position randomly, they are in a position because the muscles have put them there. So by switching on the muscles, we are going to pull those joints and those bones back into new positions. And that process of change, both in the muscles firing up in new ways, but also the bones rearranging themselves, isn't always comfortable. So sometimes, and to be honest, quite often, what I get when I'm speaking to people, the feedback that I get is, Ellie, I did this exercise and my normal back pain went down, but my neck really felt uncomfortable afterwards. Is this a bad sign? Is this exercise bad for my body? And the answer is no, absolutely not. The fact that your normal symptom went down but your neck started screaming at you is a sign that you are changing your neck, which may be a part of your body that's not moving properly, that is dysfunctional, that's causing your lower back pain. So let me just summarize that again. Exercises that are good for you are going to reduce your normal symptoms of pain and tension, But what you may notice is that new parts of your body feel uncomfortable. And if new parts of your body are feeling uncomfortable, it's a really good sign that you are creating the change that we want, and we are giving a kick up the bum to the stiff bits, the weak bits, the bits of your body that don't normally play their role. And as they start playing a role, as they start coming into the equation, you're going to start feeling them differently to how they felt before. I have to make it crystal clear. Changing your posture is not all comfortable, relaxing stuff. We are exercising your body in new ways. So just like you wouldn't expect to go to the gym and not feel anything afterwards, having those like sore, tired muscles that have worked hard, making it hard to walk because they're so tired for a few days afterwards, is a really strong sign that you have woken your muscles up and tested them in new ways. It's exactly the same principle when you do your posture work. And in fact, you might find it quite shocking and humbling as to how tired you feel after seemingly innocuous exercises. It can be really shocking, to think that just the smallest little hip exercise can make your hips be on fire for days and days and days. So please do not be alarmed if you feel new parts of you wake up and engage, because that is exactly what we're going after. If you're in this for the long haul, if you're really committed to working on your posture, you have to be prepared that you are going to feel things that may make your mind panic a bit, because if you're somebody who is in chronic pain or has pain, your nervous system is on like high alert. It's been protecting you for a long time. Your body knows it's in this kind of volatile state. It knows it's not safe. The pain is trying to give you a message, and maybe you've been ignoring it and masking it with painkillers, or sort of hiding the fact that it's there, or maybe you just simply don't know what to do about the pain and you're just sort of pretending it's okay and it will get better after a while. When we've lived in that body for a long time, your nervous system is going to be on high alert. So any new sensation that we create, our brain is just like, something bad is happening to me. But actually, we've got to be able to think about this logically. You have to be able to kind of split your brain out of your body so that you can look at things objectively and logically and with a calm sense of reason. You will feel things that are not always comfortable. This isn't going to be plain sailing. We have to get things waking up. Your bones are going to shift into different positions. And when that happens, you will likely panic a little bit. But if it's in a new place in your body, or if it feels different to what you would normally say are your symptoms of pain and tension, then it's a really good sign that the exercise is good for you. Conversely, on the flip side, it's really obvious which exercises are bad for you. The exercises that are bad for you are the exercises where you aggravate your normal symptoms of pain and tension, even a tiny bit. So I might ask you to do something, or you might watch one of my videos and your normal neck pain goes up. So you might always have like a constant sort of 2 out of 10 level of tension in your neck. Tension, by the way, is on the pain spectrum. I hear lots of people tell me that they don't have pain, but they feel extremely tense. If you are tense, you're on the pain spectrum. It just hasn't got so bad yet that it's like stopping you from walking. We have to reframe tension as pain. Our bodies should not be tense. If we're moving well, not only will we not have any pain in our body, but we won't have any tension in our body. So please make sure that you don't dismiss tension. Tension is pain. It's just lower on the spectrum. So if you have, going back to what I was saying, if you have like a low level 2 out of 10 neck tension and you do an exercise and that neck tension goes up to a 3 out of 10 level of tension, you've got to back out of the exercise straight away, because your body is telling you, I am not functional enough to do this exercise. I don't like it, I'm compensating in my normal way, and you're going to leave that exercise feeling worse. This principle is so simple in concept, but it's so difficult for people to adhere to, is probably the best way of saying it. So many people think, oh, if I just hold it a bit longer, if I just push through this a bit more, I'm going to try that exercise again tomorrow. My friend can do that exercise. I can see Ellie's doing that exercise. I used to be able to do this exercise. Why can't I do this exercise? All these things run through people's heads. And it's an ego-driven sort of frame of mind of I should be able to do this thing, but I can't. But I want to be able to do this thing, so I'm going to carry on pushing, that will keep taking you into that place of pain and tension. And what's quite difficult is until you found an exercise that works for you, so until you found something that takes your levels of pain and tension down, you don't have something to contrast it against. So if you are playing around with trying posture exercises that don't suit your body, you've only got like 5 examples of what not to do, and you might be choosing the best of a bad bunch. So you still think it's good because it doesn't aggravate your pain as much as something else, but those collection of exercises still weren't working for you. You will know when you find a posture exercise that works for you because you will feel relief. You might not feel 100% relief, but you will feel some relief. And the more that you have that experience of this is what Ellie means when she says something feels good versus this is what she means when something feels bad, the easier it becomes to be more discerning and leave the things that feel bad and focus on the things that feel good. So to tell you about my analogy and to tell you the kind of practical tip of what you need to do next is I want you to imagine that in front of you, you've got 500 doors. And depending on the amount of pain and tension, which is caused by muscular dysfunction and muscular compensation that you have going on in your body, depending on how much dysfunction and compensation you have going on in your body, there are going to be X amount of horrible monsters behind those 500 closed doors. The more functional you are and the less compensation that you have, there are going to be less monsters hiding behind the doors. So in the very beginning, if you are in lots and lots of pain, you might try 500 exercises, and every time, so each of these exercises represent a door, every time you open a door, there's a monster going rah at you, which is your pain and your tension getting a little bit worse. And what you need to do, if there is a monster behind that door, slam the door shut and you move on to the next door. You might open that door and it might be another monster behind the door roaring at you, and you've just got to slam the door shut and move on. In the beginning, like I said, if you're in lots of pain, out of those 500 doors, which represent exercises, you may find that only 2 of those doors don't have a monster behind them. So your job, however much your ego is not going to like it, because your ego is going to be like, but other people can open 200 doors, other people can open 300 doors. Doesn't matter what other people are doing. If you want to get out of pain, you have to focus on yourself and you have to focus on what your body is telling you. There is literally nothing to be gained by comparing yourself to anybody else. It will not help you. What will help you is by focusing on those 2 doors that you opened that didn't have a monster behind them. And what you need to do is you need to keep opening those doors every single day, multiple times a day, because the more that you focus on the exercises that work for you, the exercises that don't have the monster behind the door, the more that you are going to notice that more doors start opening themselves up to you. But the doors will not open themselves up for you safely unless you are focusing on the exercises that feel good, the clear, empty doors with no monsters. If you keep relentlessly opening the door that has a monster behind it, you are going to find yourself trapped in a cycle of pain, tension, and frustration. The hardest thing when people open potentially their 2 doors out of 500 is calming the ego, like I said. So the thing that people struggle with is, I can only do these 2 things. They look too passive. They don't look like they're doing anything to help me. I need to do more. But the fact is, there is nothing more that you can do to help yourself. The only thing that you can do to help yourself is listen to your body, respect the wisdom of your body and what it's trying to tell you, and lean into the exercises that make you feel good, even if they look too gentle, even if they look too simple, even if they look too passive to be doing anything. If that's where your body is at, that's where your body is at. You have to meet your body where it is. It's not my fault that your body's in pain. It's not necessarily your fault that your body's in pain. We can't blame our bodies. We can't blame other people. We have to focus on the here and now. We have to focus on the facts. It doesn't matter if the exercises that help you to your ego look too easy. If they are what your body is asking you to do, meet your body where it is at and do the exercises that it is asking you to do. Hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully there's a little bit of a gem of wisdom in there, and maybe it's given you a bit of a kick up the bum if you kept opening those doors constantly with monsters behind and you're wondering why you're not getting anywhere.